Today we'll be learning, Sami Kenem says a new concept, it's called Avas Atzmoy. And he says like this, the Tanai Arishon, Ve'acharon, and Esek Arabim, L'Askil, Ve'ladas, well, you have to first recognize and have to understand what Seichel, and then have a das. What is the thing? You have to understand. Well, you have to work hard to understand that what? This is the Ika point. Liyos meruchog b'chol hayecholes. You have to go far away, all you could. At tachis harika, the far away that you could go away. Mi'avas atzmai. Save it from loving yourself. The saving of the mitzvah of go away from sheker. Midvar sheker tichak. Here's Mama here. You have to get away from Avas Atzmo the farthest way you could. You have to. So what is our job? The first night and the end tonight. The beginning, the first you have tnoim, and to be a second rabbi. The first night and the end tonight. When you get involved with the rabbi, you have to understand and know what you have to understand. Know to go away, far away from the tachis arichuk from Avas Atzmo. It means to say Avas Atzmo is worse than the like Avas Sheker. You know, Sheker is you have a mitzvah of go away from Sheker. Here you have to go so far away from Avas Atzmo more than anything. So this is the biggest story. Friday, I got the concept.
I think with that, the lesson that says beginning and end doesn't mean beginning and end. It means it's a phrase to say the whole thing.
It means everything.
It means everything.
But the thing is, what you have to understand, recognize, understand, the seichel, understand, and physically, what you have to be careful, run away, the far they could away from Avas Atzmo. I want to tell a story that I read Friday and Shabbos night. Someone gave me a piece of paper, a story of the Bogobel. Bichashmuel is a Rabbi, that he could learn from him. His wife and his family, 12 people. 12 people.
Wait, he has 12 in his family?
No, it was 12 people, 12 people, and that's the situation of him. They had to travel, go away someplace far away. Go away someplace. And, I mean, both bad to do something. Not he don't take his family to go. It's not talking about the...
He went with his family?
He went with his family. And he goes to the train. All those family, and he made the tircha. And he goes. And then he comes to the train. He goes up on the train. And he's sitting, him and his wife, 12 people. A woman with a daughter knocking on the door of the train to go in. And the head of the train says, there's no place. And she's banging and banging. She would say, go in. The Bichashmuel himself gets up. His family with 12, together is 12 people. They go down. And they wait another 12 hours till they get the next train. This is the Mussar. A story I heard that.
Give one person to...
No, the point is...
Yeah, to let one person in.
Two people, him and his wife. But the point is...
No, he's saying the woman that's banging, he's saying they gave up to the woman banging.
For two people, all the family went down.
Yeah.
What do you learn from this? When I made the story, I said, that's Tam Hashem put that story in front of me. You see the Bichashmuel, Avas Atzmo, loving himself, is far away. He thought about the other person. He said, the other person, he has no place to go up. We can stay 12 hours, no bad. Family, 12 kids. Everything is 12. Now you think it's easy, it's also not easy. What? And all the big together. But you see from there, understanding that what? Loving yourself, I, was poisoned by him. He was meruchak betachlis harichuk. There's no I. He said the woman needs to go up with a daughter. He gave up his own, him and his all 12 kids, he gave up for that. You know what that means? This is a koyach hatzir to give us a koyach hatzir from a Rebbe. A Rebbe! He'll tell us what? He was far away from Avas Atzma. From there he could not be enough to all cases. In Amdeinu Rabbeinu. I have another story. It was a boy in Yeshiva. The famous boy was named, or then he came one of the Doilater, and he was of Chaim Kaiser. One of the big Doilater, of Chaim Kaiser. He was in Yeshiva of what? Rab Yeshiva of Lublin. Because he was a big Lamdan, a big Talmid Chacham, so a rich person, able to get him to come to his house, and he ate is called Teg. Every day he had a place to eat and sleep. Because he was a special boy. So
was it before it became?
No, that was years ago. It was years ago. In yeshivas, there was no food in the kitchen. In yeshivas, no food, and there's no beds. They used to have, like in me today also. There's no beds, food, yeah, but no beds. You have to find your own bed. You have to find your own. So he had some rich person, got him. He gave him a nice, beautiful house, beautiful bed, and food every day. Because he was a big land, it was a big Talmid Chacham. When after he was in yeshiva for a while, came a new student in yeshiva. In a simple family, no something special. And he saw if he doesn't have a bed, who knows what will be with him. He gave up his own bed for 1 year, a year and a couple of months. He gave his own house, his own bed. And he gave up his own food every day. And every day he went to eat and he slept a different bed and he ate a different place. He did like Goldstein for 1 year. For him it was comfortable, he had a bed. And he had a bed, and he had what? Food. He gave up his own bed. He gave up his own bed, his own food. For another boy in yeshiva. And he also ate, don't think he didn't eat, but he had no comfort. Everybody ate in yeshiva, but he had different comfort, not, a boy has to find his room, find his bed, find a place to eat, And like this is for 1 year and something. You see from there that what? Far away from loving yourself. And he said when he came to the Holocaust, the schos that he was saved. It's a long story by himself. Not a story. But there's already a schar mitzad tzida. It's not a story. But another case here, you see, loving yourself, far away from it. So we have always a mitzvah, answer. Here we have to understand, you have to know, to go away from loving yourself. This is a new concept, a new avodah. Against all the society, against all you have South and America.
Occidental.
All?
Occidental?
No, all American society. It's called Marav. It's called, you have the Mizrach, it's an all American society. And
It's a way of thinking.
Yes, thinking not America, all Europe, all
The West.
West, right. The West, what?
Western.
The West society, they tell you main thing is you, me, and me, and me, and me.
Yeah,
Me, today. That's the concept. The concept is me, and me, and me, and me. and me, and this is all the concept.
Does someone tell you give a clear definition of what it means? How about that?
We already learned about it almost. I gave it by himself. I'll talk about it more. We'll learn about more. And that is not the subject now. We talk about next week, 2 weeks. We have another work. We have another. They talk about more details. But first, get the concept. Loving yourself. I gave you 2 examples. Comfort of yourself. Let's talk about that first. Comfort of yourself. And I'll tell you a story I heard from Avshalom Shadron. Avshalom Shadron, he said. He says, you know why? Listen carefully. You know why these children came not religious? The family, he says. I'll tell you why. He said, in his community, we used to live, what happened was, you see, the children had a place to sit, and, the parents had a place to sit, but the children had no place to sit and davening. And shul. So then, what happened was, they run around, they don't sit. So what Shlom said, you have a question, you have a place to sit, or your son has a place to sit. Who have to give the place to sit? Your son, he says. He says, why? Because you can daven when you stand. You can move. You can, not to have that comfort. I agree with you, it'll be hard for you. You can stand there, you move here. Even your old man, your heart is hard. But you can sit, you can move it, and then you find a place, you sit in the back, you get it together. But if your son has no place, what happens? Whoopee, runs away. There's no place to sit. And this Shalom said, you saw families, the children went off the derech. Why? Because the children have a place to sit in the shul. And when I had a meitzah, I bought 12 seats, 10 seats. People were trying to fight me. Said, you have 12 seats, so many seats. The Rabbi said, Don't mevata. I asked the Rabbi, he says, Don't mevata. Don't mevata the seats. So they took away from me, but nothing I could do. They took away my koyach, nothing I could do. They took away, but not the point. They're there. On the other cheshbonis. When the yeshiva is already, but when I had a place, I bought the chatchila 10 seats, and the woman 4 seats, 14 seats. Why I bought 14 seats in shul? 14 seats in shul. So the Rabbi told me, you must have your children, and if someone have to have a place to sit. The Rabbi told me, and I fought it till I was able to the point, and then Hashem, I moved, so I not there. But the Mai says, then they gave me 5 seats, was enough. And it was enough to move. But there was the main nekuda. The nekuda is thinking about yourself or thinking about your children. Again, only the same concept. Comfort. First about loving yourself, talk about comfort. Let's talk more details and more details. You want to get involved with the tzibur, you have to get far away from your own comfort. Let's talk about that first. Comfort, Noach. Noach is poison. Let's talk about that. I have to get away from, I have to have my comfort. My seat, my room, my bed, my situation, my books, my Gemara, my this, my that. Comfort. Comfort. Cannot get involved with the tzibur. They say also if you have comfort, you can have children also. They say if you have comfort, also you cannot have children because you love the trees, the floor has to be clean, the walls have to be clean, too much, everything, too comfort is also, you cannot make a balagan. When children brings you a balagan. It's also a comfort that children cannot be in the house if you're with comfort also. But point here we're learning today, the first nai and the end nai is what? You have to understand and know is going far away from comfort. Let's talk about this like comfort. Let's talk about that comfort. Avas atzmo equals comfort. Let's make about that. Let's make this it. Avas atzmo equals comfort. Get away from comfort. I have to have my piece of bread and my piece of wood, water, and my piece of thing, and my piece of thing. The comfort, because I want to have it, I want menucha sefer, everything is right. But this loving yourself. And the end of the game, you have two cases there. The Bich HaShmuel, he gave her 12 hours of comfort with his family. Chaim Kreiser, he gave up his own bed for 1 year, more than a year, he gave up his bed to someone other boy in Yeshiva, his own bed. And he used to sleep in every day, different bed, and eat in a different place. And he says, because that is saving from the Holocaust. He has a famous story. Later I'll tell you one story. He was saved from the Holocaust because of that Maisa.
He said that.
He said himself clearly. And also in the end of his life, because of that story of comfort, he also story, he said, he saved him, he lived another at least 20 years more. Because of that. He has another story in the end of his life. Also, his comfort, what he means, he gave up his own to be comfort and all those other stories he had. What do you want to say?
Just so I understand. Well, I'm not saying that I shouldn't seek comfort. Rather than the comfort that I'm used to, I have to be willing to give up.
Yeah, and in your mind, you see, I don't have to say you have to give up your comfort. Hashem wants you to have, Hashem loves you, wants you to have comfort.
So I'm allowed to seek.
No, but if it comes a situation, like the story with the Chafetz Chaim, with his own coat.
I have to be willing to give it up.
Yes, the Chafetz Chaim with famous coat. The famous coat. The guy came to him to his house and he was cold. The Chafetz Chaim gave his own coat and he put him on his. The Chafetz Chaim saw someone sleeping near his bed, near his house, someplace on the floor there. He saw him sleeping on the madrigot or something, on the thing. And exactly the story. He gave his own coat. It was a hot coat, and he put it on the guy sleeping. He was sleeping. If you're able to give up your own comfort for other person, I'm not talking about hurting yourself, but it's comfort. You can give up comfort, not talking about hurting yourself. Next step, but talking about comfort.
In relation to the idea though of Ahavat
Atzma.
is going after comfort. Is that in itself Ahavat Atzmo?
That is one of the things Ahavat Atzma is one of them. It's a lot of parts of Ahavat Atzma.
Like if he's makpid in his comfort.
Is makpid on his comfort, but the comfort is it takes away it takes a lot of him a person, his own food, all these things. The comfort takes a lot of koach of a person.
When takes away.
No, a lot of time.
Time. So you're going to be for time.
I want to tell you something. The Amos says the Shoim has a mama on it. A person wants comfort till the end, he cannot do no mitzvahs. He has a mama. Chal has a mama on it. If you want your comfort high exactly, you cannot do no mitzvahs. Has to be my time, my this, my that. You cannot do no mitzvahs. Because it never fit me on, never fit, unable to do nothing. It always destroy your comfort. Every mitzvah will destroy your comfort. You're sleeping or eating or this or that. You never could do no mitzvah. If you want comfort to the end, you cannot do no mitzvah at all. No mitzvahs at all. Always yes, you have to give up something. If you want comfort until the end, it's no mitzvahs of the Torah. The mitzvah of the Torah destroys. And this is the famous story she told us. She passed away. It was a big tzaddikus, but she told us a story. She came to the yeshiva and she told us her father was a Gedol Ador. Her father was a Gedol Ador. And when she saw the Rebbe, she said, wow, it's like my father. And his father was one of the big Gedol Ador. And she said she left everything because she wanted comfort. And then what happened, the children lived far away from Yiddishkeit and affected everything, and all the family went kaput.
Perfect.
Yes. But she says, what was the reason why she left Yiddishkeit? Not because she hated Yiddishkeit, she wanted comfort. I heard in my own ears, I was there. Shasmai said when she talked. I was there in the yeshiva in that moment. And the Rabbi says, one of the big doila oilam, father was a big doila oilam mamash. Pshutik mashma. Pshutik mashma. Mamash big doila oilam of the world. Torah revolution. Torah people. That everyone knows the big Torah. And the daughter, why the daughter went off the derech? Not she went off the derech. Why everything went off? She didn't be like the children, didn't come to me chacham like it has to be. Comfort. The comfort overcome everything. After my seat, has to be my bed. I one time talked to the rich person years ago, and he was in a Plaza Hotel. Plaza, I don't say name, and in the middle of the night he gets up, he goes to the plaza, and he runs away from him and his wife, and they go to, and in the middle of the night they run away from the plaza and go to King David Hotel.
Oh, he got up and ran.
He said to me, the beds there terrible. I cannot sleep in these beds. The comfort, the beds are not good for me. He told me this story. Ex-person doesn't make a difference. The comfort is so it's impossible to sleep in a bed. This is your story. The point, comfort is a very thing you have to run away from. Today, we're making this concept. Loving yourself means comfort. And he says you have to go away, the far away that can be from comfort. That's what the avasatsu means, comfort. So, not hurting yourself. Not talking about hurting yourself. I'm not talking about hurting yourself. And I'll give you example of different generations. Not our generation, but the Chafetz Chaim. The Chafetz Chaim had benches in his house. He had no bench in the house and no back. See the bench? No back. No back. It says to comfort. It's comfort. He didn't want a back for his back. His Rebbe says, what? This and that. He says, if I have that is on the cheshbon of my learning.
It divorces his wife.
What? No, just want to get the story. I want to get the idea. The idea is comfort. People understand, for comfort they do a lot. The world, for comfort.
She wanted furniture in the house.
Furniture, everything.
Yeah.
But more and more now, people in America, all Europe, all the world today, they work so hard. Double jobs, 3 jobs. Yeah. For what? That they have a month, 2 months in the year, they can have comfort vacation. Comfort. For that comfort, they give up everything. I see some people, B'nai Torah, they used to be a B'nai Torah, and they went to work for a little comfort. They have a nice car, they can have a car, but they buy a better car, a more comfort car. So because they have a better car, a more comfort car, causes them they cannot learn Torah more. That extra comfort causes, they need a car, but extra better car, that extra comfort causes them what? If they have the money, I'm not talking about. If you don't have the money, that extra car, they have to work hard as cheshbon on the learning. And then, but we have to go away from it. We have to. This is a very hard concept, but we have to try to train ourselves. This is training to understand. Go away from loving yourself. Love yourself can be a lot of things. Some people have a problem. They have to talk about themselves. I did this, I did that, I did this, and I did that. All day they come home, they talk. All day is talking about themselves. Loving themselves all the time. If you don't talk about yourself, you sleep, you go to bed. Only have to talk about themselves. Loving themselves. If it's themselves, they talk. They don't talk about themselves, and nothing exists.
I used to work in an environment that had a lot of technical people,
Loud.
I used to work in an environment that had a lot of technical people.
Yeah.
High-level physicists from Harvard, and people that came in that developed valves to put one molecule of many different types of gases in, all these kind of people. And they get together, I thought to myself, they were so full of themselves, and I had to work with them all, they were so full of themselves. I said to myself, this guy could easily do the same job, and just do his job. Everyone would obviously see the guy, that he did this incredible job, making these incredible things happen. Why did they have to be this way?
They talk this way by themselves all day.
Why do they have to go be together and be so push themselves so much how great they are all the time? I said, I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand it. Because they had special scientists in from Germany to blow special from shot glass in Germany blow special volumes and all different kinds of special people that are so full of themselves. They work so hard to get that position, to get that 6-figure, 7-figure salary to do this one job that they had to do to make these things work, to make these things happen and stuff like that. They could just come and do the job. Everyone would know that they did it. They'd be even much bigger if they just shut up and did it, in my eyes. But they were so...
They talked about how
They were so pushy.
Again, showing, loving themselves.
It was unbelievable. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Yeshua. The idea is they're pushing themselves. They're pushing themselves.
They were so full of themselves.
They're pushing. Now it's another point. There's one thing, comfort, and one thing is pushing yourself. Is also part of loving yourself. Not pushing Hashem, not pushing mitzvahs, not pushing. Well, you have to pushing yourself. Is again part of loving yourself. Is pushing yourself. I exist. Pushing yourself. I'm not saying you need it. You need it to be identity. We're talking about pushing and pushing, like you're saying, is another part of loving yourself. It's another chelik of it. But today I want to talk about the point of comfort. It's a one little point we could talk about. Is called comfort. Comfort people lose a lot. They don't want to do this, all these ideas. So how you have to work? First you have to understand, La'askim Uladas starts with the Seichel, not starts with the Meiser. La'askim Uladas. First you have to understand, La'askim, and you have to know to go away from it. Not starts in first do a Meiser. First you have to maskil and know to go away from this. Not stop first ideas. First is not do the mice to go away from you loving yourself. You have to first understand about it and go away and know about it. You have to go away from yourself. It's much more the avoid is different. The avoid is different at all.
the first step.
The first step is you have to understand that loving yourself has to be far away from everything. Loving yourself is far away from everything. This is one of the, I say is, if you see a comfort, you see a man and woman talk, if no people know the secret, they can have big shalom bayis all their life. Right, Rabbi Chaim? People are older people, they can tell you this. If you know this thing, you can have shalom bayis. I have a different mama, Salome Kellan, and I have also a mama of a binyon also, but I have a lot of connected to this. If you have this midah, go away from the self, you can get married and have a good all your life shalom bayis. This midah, Melech, This midah, if you have this midah, you're able to have a good wife and a good children, everything can come out good with that. This midah is the essence from especially Esek Arabim. Acharo itna rishon ve'achon be'esek Arabim. When vow with the Rabbim is, first thing is your family is the Rabbim. Your own family is the Rabbim, you have Yeshiva. When a vow with the family, you have to go, or you have to get out of yourself. Yourself is go where you're comfort. Now we talk about the comfort. You cannot have comfort by yourself. My comfort, my comfort, my comfort. It doesn't go. It doesn't go.